This is amazing to see all of you here, to learn that we have 250 of you attending the University Photographers Association of America's annual conference. I remember when Mark and Jaren were hoping to get to 100 attendees, and so to see all of you here is just such a thrill for me, and it tells me some really good things are happening in higher education. So thank you all for being here. I spoke with Mark yesterday, and I could not believe, and had to go back and actually I questioned his facts, that Mark has been gone for 8 years from the university. Because, and I told Peggy, his beautiful wife, this, I think it's just a sign of when you're a legend, because he is still with us. Mark's just omnipresent here at the university, and just could not believe it had been that much time. Mark retired 8 years ago after a career of 40 years at the university. In fact, I think he retired on the day that he was hired. That 40 years was an amazing time for BYU and an amazing career for Mark. He distinguished himself as a person who could he could get an amazing picture of anything, whether it was on the football field, on the one of our dance presentations, basketball, track, to research, to in the lab. Mark could pull off a picture that we were just all in awe of, and now have as a visual record of the university. I remember when Mark retired, he said, "This is a unique job. It's a cross between photojournalism, commercial, advertising, portraiture, architecture. It's the whole gamut. We do absolutely everything here." And I have to, having known Mark for much of his career, not that I'm near as old as him, but just admired him from when my age started kindergarten, that in many regards Mark single-handedly pulled off that whole gamut. In later years we were able to add Jaren, and then Nate, and Aaron now, and our amazing student team that we have. But for many years, particularly in the beginning, it was Mark. Mark was pulling off the gamut of this whole scope of what we do at BYU. During Mark's career, as you know, he was passionate about this organization. It was so important to him. He loved the collaboration that took place through this organization, and he loved sharing the skills and the knowledge that he was gaining, and learned so much from you. He would always teach us what he learned from these conferences. He is a past president of UPAA, and then holds what I still understand is a record number of 8 Photographer of the Year awards, which I understand has now been named in Mark's honor. So a very, very fitting tribute to Mark. This is it from a man who only became interested in photography as a sophomore in high school, and the only reason he became interested was he saw it as a legitimate way to miss class, and so he joined the yearbook team just so he could get out of class, and then seeing what that developed to. In the last 8 years, Mark said he has been able to do what he loves, minus 2 things. He doesn't have the deadlines, and he doesn't have the approval process. And so that's something I think for all of us in whatever line of work we're in to look forward to. He has, in those 8 years, lived in Liberia and Texas, both times for 18 months with his wife Peggy, serving missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And most recently, he and Peggy are enjoying their time with 21 grandchildren, and this is the catch here, all under the age of 13. So it's no wonder that both Mark and Peggy look like they have not aged at all in these last 8 years. They're just playing with the kids. When Mark talks today about how BYU became BYU Photo, I want you to know that I could actually give this talk in 2 words: Mark Philbrick. Mark brought his passion for not just photography, but for storytelling to BYU. And just recently I got off the elevator in our administration building, and Mark's photos lined the hallway there. And as I headed quickly down the hall, I realized that with every photo I was passing in Mark's, the story behind that photo was going through my mind. And when I got to the end, I had this full breadth of stories about BYU. And I thought, what would we do without this record that Mark told? Where would these stories be? We wouldn't have them. And it's thanks to Mark, and now, as I said, Jaron and Nate and Aaron and these tremendous, talented photo students that we have this record, and that we're building this record of our stories at BYU. And I just want you to know how I will be forever grateful to Mark for what he built at BYU, and for the record of not just to say the university, we have that too, but for those individual stories that we have of our students and what has been accomplished at the university. And so I am so excited to hear from Mark, to have him return to us today, and just want you to know of my love and appreciation for Mark and Peggy.
You know, you can't believe an administrator. I'm sorry. You know, as you know, I wish I walked on water like that. You know, I really did. But since a lot of you don't know me, I thought I'd show you, because words, you know, Carrie is really great, and you know, I'm blushing, but I thought I'd show you what I do. It'd be easier, and that way my credentials will be such that you will be able to say, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe he can take a picture. I like to show that because I like to remember that I actually could take a picture, and so I appreciate that. Jaron's asked me to talk about how, because I'm sure, I don't know if any of you have seen our studio downstairs. I wish I could say it's our studio. Anybody seen Jaron's studio downstairs? And it's not even this, I call it a complex. You know, I have a complex of his complex, but it is absolutely stunning. So he wanted me to show you that we didn't start out this way. So I'm going to show you how we started out. But I'm first going to classify those of you who are here into 3 categories. Okay? So you can decide which one you want. And I'm going to show you the first category when I first came to BYU. This is when I first was hired on. I was a student here. They hired a position. They decided to make it a full-time. We had 2 students working it. I was one of those students for 2 years. And they opened it up full-time. Right place, right time. I bribed the right people. Had enough incriminating photos of other people, so it worked. And so this is how I felt when I first came to BYU. And some of you probably feel this way at your university. You know, I felt like this. Okay, I didn't have equipment. I used my own equipment. I had no studio really. I had, even, no, I didn't even have a barrel because we don't drink here. We don't have a keg. So, I didn't even have that. So a lot of you are facing the same thing at your university. You're going, I'm just me. That's all I am. It's just me, and I have so little. Okay, we're going to talk about, and I think some of you will be understanding how we can get there. Then there's the others, that you have it all. Okay, you have it absolutely. You have the ideal. I'm thinking Michigan. Okay, they have the ideal. Okay. And rub them in. Okay. And so, but this is the problem with having it all, is you have too much. It's just too overwhelming, and you're saying to yourself, "Do I want this? I don't want. I'm tired of shooting this. I need to have something else." Okay, and then the third group, which is most of us, okay, that's why you're here, to learn, to grow, because you're stuck, okay? You're in the beginning of whatever, and you're going, how am I going to get out of this, okay? That is where we're at. So I'm going to talk about the beginning of BYU Photo. But first off, it starts off with this young kid. Yeah, oh, wasn't he so good looking? Okay. I was so young. I so much knew nothing, okay, and had so little bit. I started in the time when your motor drive was how fast your thumb can turn it, okay, and autofocus was, no, there's no such thing as autofocus. In fact, when autofocus first came out, we're going, this won't last, okay. That's why so many of my pictures, I can't show them anymore because they're all out of focus. Okay, this is my studio. Darkroom on the left. Okay, and then we had my studio space. You can kind of see there's a little alleyway, and then we drop down the backdrop in the background. This is here looking at it the other way. This is what we started with, and it started out as News Bureau Photo, because we were the news bureau for the university. We later changed to Public Communications Photo, okay, and so, but this is and this is so my office, and I shared it with a couple of students, and going from there. And just to show you how cool I was, we had, this is all pre-digital. This is all things. So I want you to imagine that I lived 25 years in this studio space. There's a motto at BYU. You can tell me, isn't that good-looking guy with the bell bottoms on the left there? I love my seafair dungarees. Okay. Now I have bell tops. Okay, I want to show you what we did. So we did all the black and white after black and white. If we wanted to shoot color, if I shoot a football game, I'd shoot 2 rows of black and white and throw a row of color in next, and then 2 rows of black and white, because we process our black and white in our labs, and then that. So as we went through, this is what we did, and this is what you do. And this is what we got to where we are now, because we would do lots of grip and grins. We would do a lot of check passings. We would do a lot of plaque passings. We had to do book reviews. And we did a lot of more book reviews. The only ironic thing of this is that's our president and his 2 vice presidents, so getting them to pose for a silly picture is fun. We shot the testing center, We even shot the pigs on campus, Agriculture Week. We shot, opening of a bean museum. We shot the latest technology in computer. Okay. Well, of course, we also shot baby kissing, international travel with our president. We shot VIPs, much younger than they were now, and more VIPs. Really kind of cool. And not to let things out, we shot the cooking class, learned how to do that, nice. And we also shot the newest earbud. And of course, our president, getting ready for another commencement. I don't know if you, but we shot a lot of commencement. And then doing commencement, Steve Young, a football quarterback style, okay? We shot every different way. I shot about 80 commencements over my career. That's 2 year. And always looking for a different angle. We shot people. We shot a lot of people. Almost all of our shots include people. If we did a research shot, it included people, because it's not the machine that does it, it's the people who created it. And then we have a lot of wannabes, that we shoot, and we even have I want to be king kind of things. and then we shoot the president. So this is 25 years of doing these kind of things. And then, okay, in 1999, Nikon announces the D1 series. You know, okay, Kodak had one before, Nikon had, Canon had some, Fuji had some before. But they're anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000 for the camera. The Kodak camera, I think, was $40,000 with the whole unit, because this came out for $5,500. I was in heaven. And because of that, we could actually change studios, because I didn't need my darkroom anymore. I wasn't tethered to my darkroom. And here's a fun fact. I was in shooting the president, and he said, well, have you got the new camera? I'm going, President, you don't give me enough budget to buy anything. And I don't have it. And he says, I need you to buy me one. He says, okay. The next day, I had a purchase order for a new Nikon, the D1X that we got. So, don't ever be afraid to tell your president that he doesn't pay you enough, okay? Don't ever be afraid, be surprised. Okay, so we moved to this office downstairs. So this is our newest office, okay? And this is a B251. So we got rid of the darkroom so we could do digital. So it means we had to have computers. And unfortunately with computers, BYU had, I could have a laptop and a real computer, and then one of my assistants could have a computer. We had to find ways of buying computers that didn't go through, well, never mind. Okay, at this time, okay, and this is the other, looking the other way. Okay, you saw, this is great. Our studio lights were so good. And then Jaron, we hired Jaron on. Jaron worked as a student with me for 3 years. Then he worked 3 more years. One time, half-time, 3/4 time, and then we could hire him full-time. And yeah, so it took some, oh, and I had my own office. I got to throw that, okay. Okay, so what did digital mean for us? It means we had to change our name. Because it used to be, you know, News Bureau, University Communications. No longer was it Mark Philbrick. It was BYU Photo. So that's when we branded BYU Photo, because Jaron wanted a little of the credit too, and I didn't, you know, he didn't want to change his name to Mark Philbrick. So I don't know why. So guess what we did? Ribbon cuttings, okay, group shots, lab shots, pin the tail on the president, pin the tie on the president. Yeah. Okay, more group shots. We did a lot of, you know, groundbreakings, and this is for the new library. Well, it was new then. And then, of course, once it's finished, we have to shoot inside the library. Okay, and then more graduation. Okay. Since we didn't have a studio, BYU has a motto, it's the world is our campus. For me, the campus is my studio. Okay, and we shot every building on this campus, we've shot either inside or on the roof, you know. We'll find anywhere to go, anywhere to shoot. And this is why, because, oh, look at all that space I have for my outdoor studio. It's really great. Okay, so this is kind of like at our full capacity. This is one of the reasons why we needed a new space. And this is kind of, if you want to really get your administrators in the right position, every time we're going to shoot somebody who can make a difference in our lives, like one of the vice presidents or somebody over an area that we needed to get something, we'd bring everybody in. And then we'd sit them down, and I'd have, okay, you guys have got to go out in the hall and stand and wait around till we take this portrait, and then you can come back in. So that our administrators started thinking, oh, they can't even do their job, you know, because we're so then this happened. Okay, that's just the student area. And this happened. Oh, I mean, okay, I'll get into it in a minute. And I want you to look at the space downstairs. Actually, we shot before this is a studio. This down here in this basement. I used to beg to come to shoot pictures down there. And the administrator over it, she said, no, I'm storing my Christmas trees down there. You know, and I don't want you down there because I don't want anybody to know about our space underneath here. Okay, but we talked him into a shot. So this is actually the first shot done in BYU Photo's complex downstairs before it was. And so this is the rough version of it. So we did this whole project down there. And you know, So we needed the space, I needed the wall, so it really worked. So to give you a perspective, and this is really boring, but to give you a perspective, Studio C373, that's what I was in for 25 years. The B251 in the red was 15 years, and those are proportion. Okay, I can't believe I survived in such a small place. I'm so thankful. So here's the question. So how did we go from here to here to here? And I have one basic answer. Years. 44 years. And support of administration, all sorts of other good things. So I'm going to give you kind of rules. These are just a few of the rules that we live by at BYU Photo. Okay. What did we do to reach their level of success? We approached every assignment with an open mind. We didn't let technical issues mess up with our creativity. We shoot the custodian with the same respect as we shoot the president. We capture what the client wants, but always add your vision for them to consider. Always have a photo in mind, and then a backup photo, and then produce an image. Love that every day is different. Long hours, impossible deadlines, and very little pats on the back are the norm, so get used to it. Promote yourself and invite everyone you shoot to take you on their next research trip. Works, it worked many times, and we traveled the world doing research for BYU. Okay, have fun. You're not alone, but have a great backup support. And that's where I'm going to throw in UPAA is such a great backup support, and I'll talk a little bit more in a minute on that. Okay, remember that your best photo will be the one you create tomorrow. And then work really, really, really hard to be lucky. Okay? That's something we learned in sports. You prepared, you get in the right position, right lens, right everything, and then you wait for them to dance in front of you. Okay. I'm going to show you, we really promoted ourselves. I pushed for every way we can to promote ourselves. And so this is me in my younger years when I actually could do interviews. So basically, again, we'll go over the idea, and that is you're going to be breaking through the wall. No offensive line is going to stop you. You're going to be able to just, you're going to crush probably a couple of bricks in your hand, maybe one snapped in two. We'll try a couple of different variety of things.
It was not the normal pregame briefing that BYU nose guard Lenny Gomes is used to. Big number 90 is accustomed to crashing through walls all right, and the Outland Trophy candidate has scores of tackles and sacks and hurries and even a couple of interceptions to boot. But his collection of trophies included nothing like the one that BYU photographer Mark Philbrick was about to award him.
I want to make sure we see your number and everything. I guess we could put one of those in your mouth too, but I don't.
For the last 9 football seasons, Philbrick has chronicled some of the most notable features of Cougar football and the man who created the dynasty.
Over the years, we've been talking about what Lavelle can do as quarterback, as a quarterback factory, and so this is how we envisioned it. We took him to a factory out at Geneva, found an old place and positioned then, and had about 15 minutes to shoot this shot.
The shots make up the collectible centerfolds in the game programs at Cougar Stadium. Heir Apparent, featuring Robbie Bosco, was his first. Over the years, his pictures have featured the Beef on the front line, defensive line coach Tom Ramage, and the Nab and Tackle Choir, and such Cougar notables as Ty Detmer, Peter T., and Derwin Gray, the Extinguisher.
I think they're just part of history. I think they show a different part of football than just action shots.
But his shot of Lenny Gomes was going to involve a good deal of action.
Lenny, all righty, on the count of 3, I want you to break through. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Good job. Okay. If I can get your head up just a tad more. I just want it so because the bricks are falling real nice, and that looks real good. That's good. This can turn out nice. I like the brick on the back side. And, that looks good.
The shot involves special lights and special effects and some help from the BYU drama department.
But what I think I'm going to have you do is have a few of you stand on the side, and maybe we'll throw some bricks up there so I get a little motion. We'll have you stand on this side so we throw the bricks this way, and we'll just have some bricks coming in the foreground.
There are dozens of takes and hundreds of exposures before the keeper, but the work has its rewards.
To realize that I'm working around some of these great people, the Steve Young, the Robbie Boscos, there's Lavelle Edwards. There's just some history here that we're preserving in a different way, and I think that's wonderful.
Lenny Gomes was preserved for history as the centerfold of the Notre Dame game program at Cougar Stadium. The caption read, "The back stops here," but the look in Lenny's eyes says much more.
Watch Cougar football on Channel 5.
Of course, they threw in a little advertisement too to go on their show, but here's the finished product, just so you can see what we came up with. And so I want to show you, I'm going to show you some more of these center spreads because it was a very important part of my life and really established a lot of my credibility. Okay, so I'd like to use this quote, which I made up. Use fear to teach and inspire you. Okay, not to enable you to not do, but use the fear. They're afraid. And so they mentioned this is the very first shot we did. The shot was supposed to be of Steve Young handing the football off to Robbie Bosco. You know, Steve had graduated, but this day he went and signed a $60 million contract for football. I couldn't understand why he wouldn't be in my photo shoot instead of $60 million. And so we arrived there. So first off, the whole shot's different because he's not there. And we get there, we're in the public relation lady's office, and she says, okay, look out the window, and they're washing down your F-16, where do you want it? Okay, I'm going, no, I'm just a kid, I don't like this kind of pressure, no, I have no clue. And then of course outwards I says, oh good, I have to go down on the tarmac and I'll find a spot, So I went down there, I was thinking, I have some planes flying. We were on active runway, so it was a touch and go. There were a bunch of F-16s coming and going. Of course, you have military police around us to make sure we didn't go far enough. And so I walked around, and I'm walking around at 12 o'clock noon. Okay, the best time in the world to take a picture. Isn't that? Okay, I find these lines. I find the red line and the yellow line intersection. Okay, done. I brought the F-16 in. We put this shadow, the positioning of the shadow and the football and the plane, it all works. It made it happen. But I want you to look, the most important thing on this picture is in the bottom left-hand corner is the photo by Mark Philbrick, okay? I insisted that you're not going to pay me enough not to have my name on there because this is above and beyond. This is something different. You're going to sell this. They needed to improve sales for their football programs. This is a center spread that they have in the football program. That was an important thing because it's not for ego. I didn't need the ego. I needed the door open. I needed the way of getting in places. So let me just run through a few. So this is also what I learned. And you heard that today or yesterday, actually today. Always be prepared not to shoot what was planned because that's really what happens. So we played all sorts of things, Tim McTire, we used their names, we used movie themes, we used all sorts of things. And we just would do fun things. Jason Buck, with Buck Fever. Okay, Leon White, big semi. We used Back to Futrell, Dave Futrell. We had the French Legion because we had a football coach named Roger French. We had the BYU Hitmen. And this is one of those things I think he mentioned today in his thing. He said, wet down the site. The boys are late, and it rained. It wetted down the ground before, made the shot even better to have it moist and wet down below. So Joe McNally really knows what he's talking about. Okay, the demolition crew. And then something bad happened. We got a new designer, and he thought, you are so out of touch. We need to do what the kids need today. They want digital imaging. They want cutouts. They want us to really add some flash and things. And so we did 22 years of the environmental portraits. And since then, they've been doing the digital portraits. And you notice there's not a photo credit on this anymore. Okay, but that meant that we had to then go to our in-house studio, one of our studios, okay, set up a backdrop, shut up lights, we did this constantly, just trying to get, the thing, the lighting, everything. This shot didn't make it easy for the designer to cut out. Hey, but so what? Okay. So something we started in 1984 is 40 years, and they're still doing this, okay? It's just not as classy. Okay, I'm going to show you. We do behind the scenes. You've seen BYU's behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to show you why. We started that because the new cameras could do video. You know, we could do digital video. And so we wanted to get our social media contact up. We wanted to do more than just a news release. So we sent out a news release, and then we would send, you know, we sent a news release, we sent the pictures, and if you notice here, watch the Big Bang Photo. We try to add a different audience in here. So let me show you our first behind the scenes video.
Today we're shooting pictures for a press release. We're going to do an illustration on piggy banks. The release is about bankruptcy, so we thought it'd be really fun to take these beautiful pigs and destroy them. So what we're doing is we're taking our flashes connected with the new Pocket Wizard TT5 and Mini TT1, and we're syncing our cameras at 1/8,000th of a second to get some nice stop motion. And we're trying to freeze the action of the pig hitting the ground and seeing the pieces and the coins fly everywhere. So I think it's a really fun idea, and we're going to have lots of fun.
Porgy is my favorite.
Yeah, look at the head separation there. The legs are smashing. Look at the coins dropping out. Some flying up above. So we had a lot of success with that, and a lot of interest us to do more of these kind of things. Why do you do behind the scenes? It's because people don't know what you do. They don't appreciate what it takes to get an image. And I'm going to show you a couple more, if I have time, of behind the scenes that I really, really love, but I'll show you. But what happens when you do things like that, you get departments coming to us. We had the engineering department come to us and say, we've been around, we've taken pictures in all our labs, and they look like this. And I don't think they're going to look good in a brochure. Can you do anything about it? I'm going, maybe for the right price? No, actually we said, yes, we can. And so this is my vision on that. Okay? This is your vision on that. You understand? You take it, you change it, you make it better. I came into this room. This is the acoustic reverberation chamber. And I'm going, what? And he says, well, we set up microphones, we set up a speaker, and then we play it, and as they vibe off the plexiglass, we record it. We see how different shapes of the plexiglass does certain things. So, okay, I'm going, oh, okay, and it's another one of those things. And so this is my vision. You have to take what's there and add your vision to it. Here's another one. They had this little reactor. This takes 15 minutes for this reactor to react as they fire it up. So, okay, what can you do with that? Again, as I mentioned, we like to shoot people doing things. And so this is my shot on that. Okay, how you change, how you do it. So this is what I believe. You saw how we got there. This is what we're doing, is the creativity. But this is the real key. UPAA has the answers. Now it's up to you to know the questions to ask. Okay, because you have each other now. You have a support group. I attended my first symposium in 1983. Oh. And unfortunately and goodly, I became photographer of the year that year. I walked in to Iowa State and Ames, Iowa, and I'm going, I'm just a kid. I'm a single shooter. I had nothing. And Iowa State had a great studio complex. I was feeling so little. And luckily, I was able to have some good images. And you notice on this newsletter, it says Ansel Adams, and we have the best speakers. You get such great talent here, it's unbelievable. Unfortunately, Ansel died in April of 1984, so he was not able to do it. Okay, so I hope you're taking advantage of all the things you do here. Here's the hospitality room that we had. We had someone bring a pixel stick. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a lightsaber on steroids. Okay, and so of course, you know, they had to play with it. Yeah. Yeah. Some, you know, some is not real because some people aren't angels, but okay, and okay, I won't even go there with that. Okay, so we see something. You find something here. What are you going to do with it? Okay, we had a gentleman who made a lady livery coin. He designed this, and it's it's okay, but it doesn't do what I want it to. So we took the pixel stick and really showed it. Okay. We had another guy doing NASA air control programming. Okay. We used the pixel stick in the background again in his office. This is just in his office. Okay. I'm hoping you're taking advantage of the MIC and the annual print competition because I saw this. This is an Eric Bronson shot from Michigan. He won a Best of Show with this shot. I absolutely love the shot. I was so mad. I just like you mentioned today, you get so mad when somebody else steals your shot. But I thought, okay, how can I take this shot? And you should do the same thing. How can you take a shot that you see and make it yours? And so this is my version of the shot. Okay, and we use it for a gymnastics poster publication. Okay, I love gymnastics. And the reason why, one weekend I was shooting gymnastics. I shot 10 rolls of color film, of black and white film, 10 rolls of black and white film. During the week, I got a digital camera. I got the new Nikon. Next weekend, I shot another tournament. I went from 10 rolls, 360 pictures, to 3,000 pictures, okay? I went from spending $250 on film and processing to nothing, okay? Love it. That's why I have a thing for gymnastics. So I'm going to show you, I'm sorry, I'm going to, hurry. Two behind the scenes. These are, I love these. Do them. Make sure you do them because it shows the work that you go through to do this. Okay, we're at the RB pool where we have our swim team, but this isn't our swim team. This is our gymnastics team. We decided to do something a little bit different, a little bit of water coming off, have some fun. The girls just really got into it. We had a lot of fun throwing some water at them. So just trying to get a lot of water movement, trying to not necessarily show faces, but show shape and water flying off the body.
You want it too wide?
Too wide. Lower them down almost to the rail.
I think we can do some fun things with this.
I like the flying.
So what do you guys think about this?
It's awesome. So far it looks good. It looks cool. I'm excited.
Give me as much water as you can pick up.
The hardest part is like getting all this water splashed all in your face and you can't see anything.
Timing, John, timing. Come on. Okay, now hit her. Now jump. Right down.
I guess I gotta look up more.
Reach up a little bit more.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, up. They're gonna throw on 3, so. Okay, John, try to hit her. Okay, good.
Oh, just ripped my pants. Oh, yep. Hey, Ryan, do you have a car here? You want to run to my house and get some pants? No, really.
The only problem, since you do it once, I'm going to do another. A couple years later, they needed another shot. The girls love this. They put it on their social media. They got recruits. It was wonderful. I had a vision. I love fog. If I can use fog for every shot, if I could use the fog in here and make you guys look so much better. And so, if I did that, okay, so I'm going to show another really quick behind the scenes, but this is, again, gymnastics. I'm sorry, but it's just gymnastics because they're so good to work with.
Touch the ground, I won't come clouds. I said I'm super fly. I'm super fly. Yeah, the world is mine. It's aviation time, and all I do is fly. Don't even touch the ground. I won't come clouds. I'm super fly. Yeah, the world is mine. It's aviation time.
So I like to share, beginning of the year here, this is on the left of Bronco Mendenhall after a win, on the right after a loss. And I love this quote. And it says, there is no downside to winning. It feels fabulous forever, but there is no teacher more discriminating or transforming than loss. The great secret of athletics is that you learn more from losing than from winning. And that is so true. You have the same thing with photography. You learn more. I've decided that university photographers don't make mistakes. We just have practice shots for their next shot. Okay? I believe that. So when your life is not going the way you want it, when people, just chip sand in your face, take the photo. When you got naked swimmers running at you, splashing water on you, take the photo. When you have the president's wife trying to give you one more scoop of ice cream, just take the photo. Okay, when you're being intimidated and chewed at and not appreciated, take the photo. When you win, take the photo. And sometimes you're just out, take the photo. But especially when you're safe, take the photo. So, thank you so much. Oh, I got to include this. I understand that Joe McNally was going to use Jaron at the Salt Fest as a model. And so I just wanted to show that I think Jaron is so disappointed that he can't do it because he hurt his leg, so he can't do it. Okay? So in the meantime, you're going to go out to a beautiful place, an open studio, clean. You are going to create. You have no other choice because there's nothing else there. Okay? Okay. So thank you and enjoy. UPAA is the greatest organization there is. You have friends here forever. There's not a problem you can't find that somebody else has had and found an answer to. So thank you very much. I just want money instead. It's okay. I'm retired. Come on, no. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That was awesome. I think I get asked all the time. People ask me questions and says, "Well, you could do that at BYU Photo, but I can't. We're not BYU Photo." And I thought it was important for you to understand we weren't either. And programs are built, and it takes time and it takes work. But Mark built the program up, and we're so grateful for all that he's done and for what the UPAA did for us. And that's why we're so passionate about the UPAA. That's why we're so passionate about helping you, because you helped us get here. So thank you so much.